Welcome to Unscripted. As you know, everything goes unscripted. Whenever we feel like doing something, we're going to do something. So today we are doing Show Us Your Ride. And Connie, of course, is here with us with her 73, right? 73. Monte Carlo. And it's a boat. I'm giant.
It is a stuff, but rides like a dream.
Oh, God.
It's like you just and this app does that's busy.
So tell us how you came about getting your 73. Because you said earlier, so we were doing this, that you had a couple of them. So let's start with this one specifically, the red one that we have pictures.
Well, try to need to hear about the last one.
Okay.
So 44 years ago,
Yes.
I was pregnant. As me, I got a 7-month. So I gave birth to her. She came home in that car for the next 2 years. You know how it is. They got the colic and all that. You're right. I can. Got the door sound to it. Yeah. And the car is so rides so well and is so comfortable that she'd be out now. Yeah. Well, she passed away in 2023, 22. And I would die. Well, I used to race cars back in the days, and we built a lot of them. And I had just as much fun out there as the guys doing all the engines and stuff. It did while you're even I had you. Anyway, I bought a 1980 International truck right before I died. Yeah, picture. And then tires were all flat and everything, so I bought some big ass meats. But it had a 350 in it. Hadn't been out of the field for like 10 years. And I brought that thing home. Calipers were stuck. Couldn't even hardly get it onto the truck. But I was really excited about that truck. But when I took all of this out, there was no floor. It was like Fred Flintstone. Well, I didn't realize that they would come pick it up and do that. So I sold it in 4 hours. Yeah, I mean, they're popular.
Hell yeah.
So I started looking online. I was up to like 4 in the morning every morning looking. And I was looking for either 73 out of me, 454 because I had one of those too. Oh, beast. So I went to our first ever car show where they had the Oxfords. And I had seen it sitting out with all the other cars. And for some reason, it just wasn't speaking. I was looking at a rat rod. Well, I will always have a left foot. That's just the way it is. I can beat anybody off the ice. That's just always did with the guys. Girls have better timing.
And yeah, you want her in section? Let's do. We'll line up the GP and they'll compare the new Sonic to the see which one wins. So anywhere, I plan as just
Sale. And all these cars were going through, and all of a sudden that Monty's Sintra, they had only like eighths of the tank of gas in it because of the fumes and stuff. Yeah. And as soon as they would start it up, and they got it on the red carpet, they shut it down, and then they would push it. Well, when that Monty started up, I think, it had been 2 months since Amber passed, and I heard that cam. And all of a sudden, it just felt like a hand had reached in through my chest to grab my heart. And these huge crocodile tears were coming down in my music car was for hay. So I didn't bring anything to bid, But I went up and told the guy they didn't sell it. And I told the guy I'll offer $1,500 less than what they want. And I'll buy it right there. So my husband was just... That every time I'm out driving in that, it brings my daughter to. And so we ride or die up. That's lovely there. Oh, yeah, but nice. So I still have a harder first, a butterfly heart that I need to fancy up and hang from the mirror. But
yeah, I have my the little baby chick from my baby nephew. Oh, yeah. So there's a whole reason why that little chick. It's not a duck. It looks like a duck. It's not a duck. It's a chick. just starts that. But yeah, that has the same thing as a baby chits. Since God toys him up, Joseph Beer, like, oh, that's, yeah. There's always those little sentimental pieces, that get keep those I have passed. Like, that's okay. So we know that now backstory and how you got it. Now, what got you into racing? Because obviously that's way before his cupboard.
Well, okay, so back in 74, I met a guy that had a 68, 69 Chevelle up off the ground, just had a core 54 in it, just sounded bitchin'. I'd always driven something that was a whole lot purier, and I enjoyed it so much that after we got married, we started, we always bought something that was fast. Yep. And we probably went through 35 cars, at least. Last car we built was a 62 Nova with a 454 in it. Big meats on the map. We took it down to Erosa and it did a Mulligan 32 off the track. Never been taken out before. Still had the header scorped and the street tires on it. And we sold the car to one of the guys in our racing group, which I started. And yeah, works. 3 months, he took it over a club. We never built another one after that. Oh, why? But we had probably built 18, 20 cars.
That's good.
We sold. And I loved having the car book because
Thank you.
we were organized in terms of like there were 7 of us running it that got a shit together. Yeah. And as the guys showed up, if they were drinking and they were racing, Mom took the keys. I was like the best loved and the worst than Antigua at the same time. Stip bust. That's kind of where it all started. This with that Chevelle, and then it was like I want one.
Yeah.
So my last Kyle was 69 miles.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, everybody knows me, and honestly, my business now says it all. But I have a diehard Chevy, and so we have a heavy Chevy upward. It's a 72 heavy Chevy. Every time it starts up, so I love the sound. This big engine. 100 years to me, that's almost more sexy than like this listening to a saxophone. Is
And the sax is pretty sexy.
I agree 100%. Like that's one is I think that's one of the sexiest instruments out there. Yeah, 100%. I don't sit screw. But that it look like it sounds, and that's a big. Like my daughter is ET, and she wants to be from a gearhead. But her direction is like the Honda. You can see Willie sound like the just already wide out or there sounds like a line up sound like can
You know, some of those Bryce birds, I I get it because they sit low to the ground. I think really where my racing started was when like I was about 7 or 8, and my dad we just moved up from LA and he had a place that had a round deep driveway and the bought me their chart. And I get my homework done. He Sebastian, I said I'd be on that go kart until there was time to come in. Oh man, I just you got so low to the ground. So I get the small carts, but yeah.
I'd never, but I can't say never. I had a little two Hanyos in my life, and the one got blown up because Sally's dad decided to put 5 quarts extra operated for. So let's apply the presso sport there it is. And the second had the up enough to skip. It was a 2 door. After that, I was like, no. And that was when I got my first, like, I had a juicy JB ETA, my graduate block on that. But it said I got my little, like on the 99 laser. The errors had done, I know my nerve part can't do it. And now, like, yeah, I never, you want people should be back here. So now I got my Chevy out there, but I got my frying through. I got a Toyota Avila that I rode for 20 years, 22 years. Yeah. So I recall once a car this small. Because we, like back in the day, they were buying, selling, blowing up. I remember we had a 65 Chevy and we were being sponsored by Racing Cage. So we were stopping the coach up. And so the guys came over and they're like,
Well, they can both over the years. So Jimmy hits first, he hits second, and all this and this exploded overall. And the apartment stepping was probably about 20 feet up was the highway and the great fence. There were car prices to them all the way up. It they had because the scatter show was the man gearing up to the tire. Is it was broke. He got two jokes. On
Up to Thunder Valley, right? I buy a portatelli. Yeah. I plan on spending a little bit of time out at bitch. Yeah, I end up eating on this. Yeah. Oh, nuts.
my idea of wrapping up a color TV. A bed, not a cot, not sleeping on a mattress. I'm too old for that shit now. It's just
I can't say anything. I'm pretty bougie. But yeah, I don't. I still have my tent, but I will do tenting when my dad's camper is right next to me, so I have everything to take secret. That means total stat.
that way you're wrapping it. It's not rough.
Yeah.
But you gotta pee. You don't have to go down to the place that's 59,000 feet away.
Agreed.
And it's cold or it's windy or whatever. Then by the time you walk back, you're all dirty. Duh.
So then are you going to be out at any car shows? I know you said earlier it's not to be obviously a winner, but are you going to be out at any car shows out there?
I will. Not as many though, because ever since that gal broke my bar, uh, she tore off the sideways. So, but, it's kind of one of those things I kind of want to could have get a couple of those band-aids that say ouch or something on it. And the voice today told me I can put silver duct tape over the holes, so now I can wash it. Okay, so that's good to know.
Yeah, but she says, boy, she's talking about Linda Avenue Foster. And absolutely, absolutely, Boji spot for all your frustration means for that. But that's right. So look, good.
See how sure that is.
Nobody knows, typically. But, I mean, that's why I was asking. The way you handle it's so be great slippering your up. I mean, I've seen worse vehicles out there. Oh, car shows. So
I used to love going to the one out in Seas.
oh, Tita's.
Yowzer.
Yep.
And it all depends on whether it's something where we got to it is. It's a good.
Yeah, but so we're teaming up and building us for battles of band. Which we got Courage got Urpe Women's Amantis afterwards. Yeah, we got that Jenny. Baudesi. Sorso Saint which up like that's really big one.
Do we have an idea what else went? Yes, just us been listening. Or did they just let you know that day? Yeah.
Wait. She's yeah. But we're on a campus. We're not on music base. We're on cars. So that's side.
They both go hand in hand. They do, but that was my during the great sake. There's nothing better than showing up. Okay, best gig ever.
Yep, was playing at a car show. Skip, and looking out. I could care less if there were 5 people watching us, but those beautiful cars out there. That's just the best gig I.
Yeah, and so that's why I like my book kind of brought because I like to see those. And zero doubt. Oh yeah, I can always tell our 70 GTX is not like that is beautiful.
But it's by check that. I see that was yours, but it's better than a 6 the cars are.
I mean, yeah, but definitely can't be. I'm not gonna argue that. I would probably like a freaking muscle car gets me so faster. I would than like a hot.
Absolutely, absolutely. But give me a car and I'll do it.
Yeah, there's supposed to say that there's a phrase that goes along with having something that's old like that, because it, especially my age. I mean, it's like I was raised. I graduate senior year, my car came out, and it's. I like driving this, and I like it because it's big. Because I know that if somebody hits me, I got still the mud babe. Liddell.
I get to say, yeah, not like any of the cars nowadays where you get FBI and you just capes and this stuff for yeah. What?
And I do like that because I'm kind of one of those that worries has safety. Yep. And so, and especially like where I drive losses, Iowa, only for us, right? And well, cars should be doing settings where you get 85s and then these seatbelts so really tight because it's so busy. Everybody's trying to change lanes. Ooh. I she's certainly step, but the thing is it's easy to misjudge alone. Oh, Joe, 100%. Self loss.
Oh yeah. Or I remember Michael Jimmy. I don't even know like had way back then, and he was like, and it was a photo where he gets like packages. I wish I knew what it was. Said it was your. I remember I trying to park it, and I'm like, I was terrified of driving at that word. I mean, that's probably only like last at that point. That he had a Gironic thing, and I was like, oh big god, it's like so bruh. And now I mean like, I can't park a car. I park my truck just fine. So put me in a little Toontown barn. I don't know how to park it. And I'm like,
But that's because you're comfortable with like
Thing out to you see. Once you maneuver trucks, you're good with it. Then if there's a need you can't do, he's in that all of the part. Back in the day,
when I was playing music back then, we bought this big dually and we bought a trailer for all this stuff and we'd load everybody in that to go to gigs. And I remember we were going up to report and that big car for their own and that did bus sport exact sources. That's what I love. And this lady just would not move out of the basket. Oh, and we were late for the recording studio, and I'm driving the custom, so I know we're gonna get there. And finally, she gets over, and I just over, and those scorpions kicked in when it did. It was like this. The exploded night. She jumped out of her skin. I was like, "Serves you right." So, I get my little revenge on crazy ass drivers sometimes. I think it's a disadvantage, so having been in hot cars all my life, because I see you take it for granted certain way.
so yeah. So if you could have, what is your ultimate dream car? GTO. Oh really? Like it's so sad. 69. Say yes. So the judge, did you? Yeah. Best thing.
Although, then if you ask me that 5 minutes from now, is yet another car. I literally wrote down a list of cars I was looking for, and I was looking, and I think there were 15 on the bottom. Okay. And even one of them was this ditch and deep hardcore trunk that was lower, up the ground that just had the lights all side. Yes. I had an old Ford. It got the demo sounds. Yeah. And it was so cool. All brown tours, it was really graded wells. And the fact that it had this anyways there for being that old. Yeah. And so it was cool. I got pulled over in it a couple of times.
Yeah. I mean, there is something to say about the old school classic trucks. Because I do. I mean, I'm not a lower, like, I don't like lower trucks by any means, right? Really don't. But I will say a classic one with, like, the wood bedding, like the actual wood as the bed is gorgeous. Like, hands down, like, that's one of my favorite, like, trucks besides, like, a big old GMC Jimmy and then my truck. But, like, those, I will hands down, not let us as a
skip.
yes.
And take a little thing from the the stack card. Oh, and I have it so that it could pop up when you want to go somewhere, not take out the water.
Good night. Take care. Yeah, so I mean, it's just I'm kind of I'm not a put it back to original. Yeah, I'm my Tsuchuki is I'm and yeah, it's like what can I add to it that brings a little bit of me in.
Yeah. I mean, I would still sign up. I really like the originals. Like, I love that, like, they would not get up and go. Like, I mean, that's what the whole historic piece of it is. That's why I have my newer one, like, my 2020. Keep that where original and keep it running as it should be. So I don't know. Everybody has their things.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to find somebody who works on carburetors.
Yeah.
Because, there was where we go to get our stuff done, there was an older gentleman that had worked on it forever. So every time I get the car, I'd take it to him and have him tweak it. And yeah, runs good. It needs to be done again. And last year, as a young guy, and we said, oh my God, well, I know they have the directions on YouTube. And when I got it back, it just started up just like that. I thought, you know what? I'm never going to say another word.
Yeah.
It's they mastered it.
Oh, yeah. I'd say I mean, we're not a specialty like that, but I mean, we still do our cars, sure. But the younger generation love to learn and figure it out on their own. Just say, once they master it, it's great. YouTube's a great thing for it.
Well, and the difficulty too is that newer cars are going metric, and so all of these old tools that they've all had around forever are now as obsolete. Yeah, absolutely. So and to take it somewhere where they've got the tools to work on it. Yeah, I think my guy borrows from Auto Parts.
Autos always awesome.
A true thing. Well, it is. Is there more cars that are coming in with all the computer stuff? It's like my other car was top of the line back in 2003.
Yes.
And, I mean, it's broken right now. Yeah. And, but it is weird driving such old cars because I've never had a car for 20 years.
Yeah.
Not even all of our race cars.
Yes.
So I've had this one 3 years now and almost 3. So it's my ride or die.
Yeah.
See, and I love showing up to gigs. Yeah, pulling out the guitars, having all that stuff in there because they're like, ooh, that's really cool.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Good car and plays music too. Yeah. Wow, why can't you go?
100%. And then it's one of those things, like it is. I think it sets the stage though for you too when you're out for a gig or anything like that, showing up because you are plastic rock. 100%. You want to know how my car broke up a barred light?
Oh, okay. So we were playing out like cheap, and it was a fundraiser by up, and so they sold an item to give to us for money because we weren't paying for Freddie, but we ended up with $550 in our chip jars. So wow! So these guys were very generous. After it was done and we clipped music, all of a sudden I'd study that. And I thought, okay, everybody liked singing goes. So I thought, oh, I'll go over and break this up. And I was probably 5 feet. All of a sudden, I noticed him grabbing this bro behind the neck. I just didn't know how to pay. So I went out to my car. When I pulled it forward to move my stuff, and then all of a sudden, I break things over the little car. Right. Yeah. So as the cars can solve a lot of problems. Yeah, in the old gear. I love it. My dad had a 31 sedan, a 31 thick, and a 41 sedan. So when I meet here, my father said, for my bear food, well, we have to do a ton of changing to make